E6. It's called This Extraordinary Being. It's going to be pretty sexy. I'm going to do everything in this bedroom voice.
Ew, what?
Look,
Check. Yes.
I have been listening to my own voice, and I think that the audience, that's me, wants to hear me in this bedroom, smoky, sexy voice.
So you're gonna talk like that the whole time?
Pretty sure that's what the audience wants.
That's what you want? That's what you're saying?
Am I the audience? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got an Amazon Fresh store down the street. And do I like Amazon as a company? Absolutely not. Do I like the convenience of Amazon? No, I fucking love it. I'm sorry, I just love it. And they have a hot bar that has samosas that are the only good samosas on this side of Chicago. And I hate how good they are because, come on, you guys.
So wait, that's different than a Whole Foods?
Yeah, it's a completely different, separate entity.
Why? Why do they own competing?
Because it's fun, Josh. You can walk in, scan your phone, put a bunch of stuff in a bag, walk out without talking to one fucking asshole, and you're done.
Oh, like this is the store where you don't actually go to a register. You literally fill your basket and leave.
Yep.
I'm never doing that.
I
never
fucking love it.
That.
Nope. Oh my God, I love it so fucking much.
I am too paranoid that I'm going to be charged for things that I didn't actually get.
Yeah, and then I'll get angry and yell at someone on chat and it'll get settled and it'll be fine. But then I don't ever have to talk to somebody's face.
Do you know what this sounds like to me? It sounds like the anxiety of shoplifting without shoplifting.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everyone's watching me because they actually are, except I'm not doing anything wrong.
I still don't understand at all how they know what I put in my bag. Don't tell me if you know. I just like the mystery. But I mean, I went in there like last week looking for samosas and they didn't have any. So I left without anything. And I was like, they're going to think I'm stealing something. They're going to stop me. I don't like this. I'm going to look at my phone. It's going to say I was charged for a bunch of stuff. That's fine. And nothing happened.
I'm pretty suspicious.
That's your right.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hey, wait, do we have anyone watching us stream right now? Okay. Guess what?
Oh yeah, it looks like we have one person on Twitch.
Enjoy, people. We're about to get into the show itself. Right now? Big time. And oh, hey, let us know if you really like that bedroom voice I was doing before.
What if they forget? You're gonna have to do it for the whole episode.
Oh, hey. So
gross.
That's what I like to hear.
You like to hear gross? Okay.
I enjoy everything.
I don't like it.
That's the kind of feedback I like.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Then it's working.
It is a lot.
All right. Ixnay on the Edroom voice bay.
Well said. Can we clap it in now?
Yeah, let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's On Fire Tonight with Josh and Tressa. We are here tonight to talk about... What the fuck are we talking about?
Watchmen.
Oh, yeah. We are here tonight to talk about Watchmen, Season 1, Episode 6, This Extraordinary Being. We're about to spoil the whole episode, so if you haven't seen it already, this is your one and only warning about spoilers.
Go watch it come back. Hey, you're back. Welcome. Let's get into it. This was a great episode.
Oh, yeah? You liked it?
Yeah, it was really fun. I love to get all the backstory that I've been wanting to know, that we've all been wanting to know. And now I got all this shit in my back pocket and I'm like, cool, let's keep going forward.
It's such a fucking rich episode, isn't it? Like,
so yes, absolutely. And it starts like, I forgot how the last episode starts. That happened like
okay, so the
ago.
last episode left off.
Mhm.
Angela downs the entire bottle of her grandfather's memory pills, nostalgia. And so this episode picks up right where we left off. She's in a cell and she's tripping her fucking face off. And it's only just starting. Like, Lori is trying to talk to her. She's like, dude, you did some fucked up shit. You just downed an entire bottle of pills. Like, you're going to become a vegetable.
You need to sign this consent form so we can get your stomach pumped. But at this point, I think it might be too late to get her stomach pumped. Everyone's like, we need to get her to a hospital, like immediately. She's going to die. She's like, no, it's cool. I'm going to go talk to her.
Yeah, somewhere like halfway through the episode, like Lori breaks in and is like, hey, you've just been staring with your eyes wide open. If you understand me, blink your eyes.
Oh boy, did she struggle to do that.
Yeah.
So good.
All right, so this is like the origin story for
Yeah.
Hooded Justice, and we get, it's so fucking rich. So we get, in the original comic, there's like a comic within a comic. This show has a show within a show, which is American Hero Story.
Right.
And that show gets everything wrong almost. Almost. They get practically everything wrong. A couple of key facts they're correct about.
There was a Hooded Justice.
There was a Hooded Justice. He did have a gay relationship with Captain Metropolis.
That's about it.
That's about it. Right. And so like, one of my favorite things is like at the end of this episode, he, or towards the end of this episode, because we like travel through the memories of Will Reeves. Will Reeves, that's not even his real last name. He took that name from the character Bass Reeves.
Did they say that? I totally missed that.
Well, they didn't say that, but
Okay.
like he was a little kid. I don't think that was his original name.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so like his earliest memory is watching that movie right before his entire neighborhood is destroyed. His mom playing the piano
like
to the
during
silent film.
Yeah.
And it's so wonderful when we have in this episode, there's a through line of memories within memories intermingling with each other, where you see like him as an adult, he becomes a cop in New York City, and it's like 1938, 1939, early 40s. But you see like all of that's in black and white. And then with a little bit of color, our earlier memories mixed in. And
That's
it's
so
fucking
wild.
awesome.
It's so good.
Yeah, honestly, it's a great show. I really loved it.
Yeah, this episode was, anyway, I can keep saying that, but it is a great fucking episode.
I mean, there could be no more on the nose moment of like, Hooded Justice is Superman, the origin story of this superhero, because not only do we have the show within a show of American Hero Story taking place in sort of our modern day, but also in Will Reeves' like early adult, young, not even early adulthood. He's an adult. He's a man in his 30s. The newsstand gets Superman #1, and the newsstand guy tells him, oh yeah, it's a story about a guy who like escapes as a baby right before his world gets blown up. Sound familiar?
Honestly, that part, I was like looking at stuff and like typing and not paying attention. So I missed that whole conversation they had. So that's super fun.
That's fine. Every time you say something like that, I edit it out of the show.
Well, I'm just letting you know. So fuck you.
That's fine. Anyone listening to this show on a podcast is not going to hear me telling you this fact.
Hey, you know what I thought was weird?
What's that?
And it kind of like it put so much of everything else in his life in perspective that we find out later on in the episode that his wife, June, was the baby that he picked up that day of the Tulsa, Oklahoma riots. And that's wild because, like, he obviously is at least bisexual. So if he, like, I could just see him being like, I need to take care of this baby for the rest of my life. So I'm just going to swallow these pills of responsibility and marry this woman now and take care of her for the rest of my life. She's not my sister because that would be weird.
Yeah, there's so many things about this that are really interesting. We don't have answers. Like, we can debate them all day long. So, like, he's a little kid. He and this baby both survive. So is he the extraordinary being, or is she?
I mean,
she survived too.
Behind every great man is an even better woman.
So, I mean, he clearly has an overdeveloped sense of responsibility, and that started perhaps in that moment. Maybe it was there earlier, but certainly he is after justice.
I mean, up until he left that movie theater, he was a child.
Yeah.
After he left that movie theater, his whole entire existence changed. So
yeah, his home is destroyed. His parents are murdered. Everything that he's ever known is destroyed. And the people driving the getaway car die in the crash, like within a couple of miles, perhaps, of the massacre itself. So he rescues the baby. It stops crying. This little baby will grow up to be June. They clearly have not stayed like together throughout this entire time, because she covers him getting like she as a journalist covers him joining the police, and that sort of like perhaps that's what sparks their relationship as adults.
Oh, I just figured they were always together. I didn't see that as a reunion.
Maybe you're right.
I could be wrong.
I'm not 100% clear. I don't know that I'm right. I don't know. But yeah, so like, okay. So he and June get married. They have a kid.
He doesn't seem thrilled to have a kid either.
Well, he seems really more obsessed with being hooded justice, because, like, you know, early in his cop days, he tried to arrest a member of the KKK, of course, in bed with all of these white cops who are members of it, also known in this iteration as Cyclops.
Fred was his name. He just casually threw a Molotov cocktail into a Jewish deli. It's fine. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, he happened to own a similar market across town. Yeah, so he burns down a Jewish deli. Will Reeves brings him in. The white cops are like, we'll handle this. Great work. And make Fred apologize to him to his face to make him feel like everything's good. But then when he comes in the next day to check out on the guy, there's no record. And the guy that like was working the desk is like, hey man, just like, I'm trying to warn you, watch your back. Yeah. Don't mess with this. Just
let it go, because it's not going to turn out good for you.
Right. And so that same night,
what happened that same night?
His brother officers, maybe it's not the same night,
but he was still
it
in plain
appears to be that
clothes.
night, right? So it's either that night or shortly thereafter.
Mm-hmm.
The white cops that supposedly took Fred and booked him, but actually didn't, pull up next to Will, say, hey, let's get a beer.
Let's go.
He's like, no, thanks. Maybe another night. I got to get up early. And then they corner him. They beat the shit out of him. They drag him out to a tree. They put a hood over his face and a noose around his neck and string him up. And then they cut him down. And it's just a warning telling him, we can do this anytime we want. And next time, we're not going to let you go.
We're not going to cut you down next time.
So with that noose still around his neck and holding the hood, he's on his way home when he encounters a gang trying to rob a couple and maybe trying to rape and rob.
Maybe that's not a detail that needs to be said.
All right. He's on his way home that night, still holding the hood. He encounters a gang attacking a couple. He throws the hood on. So he anonymously saves this couple from the gang, beats the shit out of all of them. They thank him. And the next morning in the paper,
he's a hero.
He is an anonymous hooded savior.
Earlier, June is like, I don't know if this is a great idea, you being a cop. You cannot control your anger. You are angry. You are angry a lot. He's like, nah, it's cool. And then, because he could have, if he was able to beat up these like 3 or 4 ruffians with this couple, he could have easily beat off these, that's not what I meant, beat these cops up that were beating him up.
Just beat him off.
Yeah. So he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm angry. I admit it. It's fine.
And June is like, you know what? You're not going to get justice as a cop, but maybe you'll get justice wearing this mask. And she helps him develop this like makeup that he does around his eyes, which is the inverse of Angela. And like everyone you see, their normal mask is like a black, like a Lone Ranger thing, but he has Caucasian makeup in Lone Ranger mask form on his face, so that when people see him with the hood on, the little bit of skin that they see, they think he's some white guy.
They can't know that he's black. They would kill him if they thought that he was black.
Apparently.
You can't have black vigilantes in 30s. Are you crazy?
And then fucking Captain Metropolis, aka Nelson Gardner, who comes over to his house.
This asshole.
Yeah, this ass. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like,
this asshole.
He saw him for who he is, right?
Yeah.
He walks in and he's like, oh my God, this is obviously Hooded Justice himself. And like his lingering touch.
Oh, the second they fucking shook hands, it was like, hello, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
June sees straight through that guy. She will not be dismissed from their meeting. She sits right down.
Cool. What's going on, guys? I'm here too.
So like Gardner's trying to sell them, him, her, whatever, on, join the new Minutemen, or like tell your friend Hooded Justice.
Wink.
It's a great group of fellows, even a couple of ladies.
As he looks at June, like one of you. June
says no. Hard cut to gay sex.
Hard cut. I'm saying, woo!
Yeah, and they're saying yes.
You know what? Before he shows up, though,
Nelson sees the unseen man within, right?
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't fucking believe him about the real conspiracy afoot.
I don't think he gives a shit. I think he believes him. I don't think he gives a shit. It's just black stuff. Why does he care?
I don't know. It's unclear. At first, he's like, "Oh my God, what are you trying to tell me? They have mind control." And when Will's like, "Yes," he's like, "Well, that's not really the Minutemen's cup of tea."
This asshole. Okay,
right.
But before we meet this guy, the Hooded Justice breaks into one of these warehouses with the Klan and beats everybody up in junk. And he finds a map and it has all these cities on it. And like, I don't know why, because I don't know the story yet. And a book for Mesmer of the Masses.
Yeah, mesmerism. And that's like what Cyclops then employs, using like flickering lights and voice suggestions. So, right, late in the episode, he discovers the Cyclops stronghold, which is Fred's own warehouse. He's like, "Oh, is this your warehouse?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he just shoots him dead. And then he goes in and he beats the shit out of everybody and shoots all of them dead and takes one of their projectors and like their books and shit to like study how they do it.
Right. Because he just came from a job as a cop where at a black movie theater, everybody was tearing each other apart and murdering each other. And he talked to one woman who was coherent and everyone else was either dead or screaming.
She was like, "I don't know what happened. It was like a voice inside my head. I couldn't control myself."
It reminded me of that podcast. What's it called? The Last Movie. It was a good... It was kind of corny, but I liked the concept of it. It's just like this VHS tape, or not even tape, but if it's this movie where if you watch it, everyone fucking goes insane and tries to kill everybody else that's anywhere near them. It's kind of neat. But
and that's a podcast?
It's a scripted podcast. It ended abruptly and it was kind of corny, but I still like the idea of it. Anyway.
I haven't heard it.
So I just told you the entirety of it, so you're fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, so like one of the things that I love is earlier in the episode when Will goes to Fred's store in Queens and finds like the white cops and beats the shit out of them and like gets that mesmerism book, and like the fight breaks into the store itself.
Yeah.
Fred is standing there behind the counter. He's like, "What the fuck are you supposed to be?" And fires a shotgun, and Will, as Hooded Justice, jumps slow motion style out that plate glass window, which is the exact opposite of what we saw in that American Hero story that like supposedly details the like insane violence that Hooded Justice first of all jumps into the store through the window,
right,
and then like beats the shit out of everyone. The store owner is like a coward.
I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be the same scene, but obviously it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
I think you're right. I just, since it was like the exact opposite, I was like, well, maybe it's not. But
no, I mean, I think that's the whole point, is that
exactly.
like the tabloid show is like, they get almost everything wrong.
They do. We see a press conference with the Minutemen.
It turns into an ad for a bank.
And the like paper print ad they have for it is racist as fuck. And Hooded Justice is like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Right. They won't even let him finish his announcement about the vast criminal conspiracy afoot in the city.
He's like, nah, we're good here. Anyway, have I told you about this awesome bank over here? It's so great. Come on, you guys.
So that's great. Like that is a direct reference to like little stuff from the comic itself. It's like the history of the Minutemen is exactly that. Like, who were these guys? Were they like superheroes or were they like pitchmen?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I like it. So, Hooded Justice comes home from a long day of justice and finds that his son is putting on his superhero outfit and
Making up his white person makeup, his white like me Eddie Murphy sketch.
That's right.
The greatest sketch ever done by anyone.
And he is not happy about it. He's like scrubbing this makeup off the kid. The kid's like screaming. June comes in and she's like, you know what? Fuck you. We're going back to Tulsa. And when I say we, I'm not talking about you, bitch.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
So this brings up like an interesting aspect. Like, did they have a good relationship before he was Hooded Justice?
It seemed like it.
It seemed like it, right?
She was at least happy. I don't know if he was. He doesn't ever seem happy, but she seemed happy.
So he started wearing a mask and he started living a double life in more ways than one.
That is true.
So is it just because he has a secret gay life? Or is it because of all of the aspects that he has to keep secret in different compartmentalized versions of himself? Because here's the thing. It's like once you have something that you decide is a secret, like it's okay to have secrets, right? But like sometimes secrets turn into shame where no shame should exist. But because you've kept it as a secret, it turns into it.
Yeah. I don't think it's all based off of him being gay. I think that it's
He's
all
very
based
angry about his origin story, and who wouldn't be?
His origin story fucking sucks. Like everything after Tulsa is in black and white. It's like his whole world, his whole outlook is completely different after Tulsa.
Totally.
It fucked him forever. It's not like they're getting therapy in 1938. He's fucked.
Yeah, and how fucked up that like now, okay, so he's got like a pretty good relationship with June, but like it's not perfect. And it's definitely not perfect for her. And then he's got something good with Nelson Gardner, but it doesn't seem perfect for him.
Right. He seems like he's 100% doing the things that he feels like he should be doing and not the things that would make him happy.
What would make him happy, do you think?
I don't know. Living his best life. Doing what's true for him. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he kills a bunch of white supremacists. That seems pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the happiest he's ever been. Yeah. But we don't even see his face to see him smile, so who knows?
Right. Does he
like,
smile when he's wearing the hood when he's happy?
That's why he's got to wear it. Well, that's not why.
Because he's smiling all the time. That's your theory.
He's whistling and skipping to work with a noose around his neck. It's part of his costume. Come on. So then, after all this, we see him in his wheelchair as an old man watching Judd's truck tires get blasted with the spike strip. Thank you, spike strip. And he gets out. He pulls out his strobe flashlight and automatically mesmerizes him into anything he wants. All you need is a strobe flashlight and you are the king. He gets him to push him up to the tree. They have a little chat without the flashlight about Judd's clan hood that he knows is hidden in his closet. Oh, you know what? It's not just a souvenir from your grandfather or whoever the fuck. It was his grandfather, right?
Yeah.
Or was it his father? Yeah, okay.
No, it's his grandfather. Yeah. So Judd is like, hey, that clan robe was my grandfather's. So that's like, you know, memorabilia. That's my legacy. I have a right to hang on to that.
Which, bro, it's not a good argument. Your legacy is the clan?
Right?
Yeah, hold on to that, dude.
Fucking Christ.
Come on.
Also, earlier in the episode, I think it might have been okay. So there's like the American Hero Story segment where they've got their version of Hooded Justice in an interrogation room, and these two cops are like, we have ideas about why you wear that hood and the noose, sex stuff. Also, in that scene, they talk about Nelson Gardner has a secret safe behind his painting that has photos of him with J. Edgar Hoover. So everything is like there's a secret compartment within a secret compartment. And it's like Will has aspects of himself within secret compartments within secret compartments. There's a lot of like mirroring and layering.
Oh,
I think.
yeah. No, for sure. Without a doubt, there is. Yeah.
So, yeah, fucking Judd, played by Sonny Crockett, is like, you don't know me. And Louis Gossett Jr. is like, yes, I do. You're Cyclops. Okay, you can hang yourself now. And we see once
Thank you,
again
sir.
the piano player, that memory within a memory. And like throughout the episode, we've seen sometimes Will is Will and sometimes Angela is Will.
Yeah.
Because, she's the one experiencing all these memories.
Right. Because she took that drug.
And at the very end, there's an old woman whose face fills the screen is like, oh my God, you look just like him. You're coming with me.
What was that? Because that's the end of her coma. She
wakes up. She wakes up and Lady True is sitting right next to her. And she's like, oh, welcome back. La-di-da.
You're awake. Ugh. I'm going to put my magazine down.
Yeah. I love how that character just acts like everyone's wasting her time all the time.
I mean, she's a billion, maybe trillionaire. Everyone is.
She's a trillionaire. She is a trillionaire. Yes. So her time is much more valuable than any of yours. But like, bitch, you think you're better than me? Fuck you.
I mean, you're not wrong, ma'am. So who is that woman? I just fucked up.
Questions, man.
What was she about to die? And that was like the loved ones taking her to heaven? Was this some sort of alternate reality thing? Was this some sort of nostalgia drug thing? Was this some part of his memories? And also, the fact, holy shit, holy fucking fuck, Will actually is the one that killed Judd.
Well, no, Judd killed Judd.
Well, okay, but come on.
Yeah. He puppeted that automaton.
I love that for him.
Yeah, me too.
He was not lying.
Hey, you think I could lift 200 pounds?
Man, what an episode.
Yeah, what a good fucking episode.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this episode. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Thanks so much for joining us.